Welcome back to XRP Spotlight. I hope you're having a great day. Today we have something very interesting to discuss because a presentation surfaced that caught a lot of attention in the XRP community. What makes it so interesting is not just who created it, but what it says about XRP and where it may fit into the future of financial markets. As I was going through the material, one thing stood out immediately. This wasn't a typical social media post or a random online opinion. It was part of an investor-focused presentation, and XRP was included alongside some of the most recognized digital assets in the industry. When large financial organizations begin discussing assets in investor materials, it's worth paying attention to what they're highlighting and why. Before we get into that, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. Despite all the ups and downs in the crypto market over the years, adoption continues to grow. More people are learning about digital assets, more institutions are exploring blockchain technology, and more capital is entering the space than ever before. Market cycles come and go, but the long-term trend remains focused on growth and increased participation. Many investors spend most of their time watching short-term price movements. While price is important, some of the most meaningful developments happen behind the scenes. Regulatory progress, institutional involvement, infrastructure upgrades, and new financial products often create the foundation for future growth long before the market fully reacts. Recently, several industry leaders have pointed out that the digital asset market is still in its early stages. Whether it's Bitcoin, XRP, or other blockchain networks, many believe the next wave of adoption will come from institutions, asset managers, pension funds, and corporations looking for efficient ways to move and manage value. This brings us back to the investor presentation. One of the most interesting sections focused on competitive advantages and emerging asset classes. Among the digital assets highlighted were Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. Seeing XRP included in a presentation aimed at investors is notable because it shows that major financial organizations continue to view it as a relevant part of the digital asset landscape. The organization behind the presentation emphasized areas such as liquidity, risk management, innovation, market infrastructure, and future growth opportunities. These are the types of factors institutions evaluate when considering long-term exposure to any asset class. The inclusion of XRP suggests that it remains part of those broader conversations. Another key point is who these presentations are designed for. Investor presentations are generally created for institutional investors, portfolio managers, analysts, and large shareholders. They are meant to communicate strategy, opportunities, and future growth areas. When digital assets are included in those discussions, it often reflects increasing interest from professional market participants. At the same time, we continue to see growing activity across the digital asset industry. Crypto-focused organizations are becoming more active in Washington, regulatory discussions are advancing, and policymakers are under increasing pressure to provide clear rules for the industry. Regulatory clarity remains one of the most important factors that could influence adoption in the years ahead. Many market participants believe that clear regulations could unlock significant institutional participation. Large financial firms generally prefer operating within clearly defined legal frameworks. The more certainty they have, the easier it becomes to allocate capital and develop new products around digital assets. We are also seeing increasing discussion around crypto allocations inside investment portfolios. While Bitcoin continues to hold the largest share in many crypto-focused products, XRP is already included in several diversified crypto funds. Although those allocations are relatively small today, they demonstrate that XRP is already part of institutional investment products. As adoption continues to grow, portfolio allocations can evolve over time. Institutional investors regularly reassess opportunities based on market conditions, liquidity, regulation, and long-term potential. If demand for XRP continues to increase, its role within diversified digital asset portfolios could also expand. Another trend worth watching is the growth of digital asset treasury strategies and yield-generating products. More companies are exploring ways to participate in the digital asset economy beyond simply holding assets. This includes staking, liquidity solutions, tokenization, and other blockchain-based financial services. Meanwhile, Ripple continues to expand its presence across multiple areas of the financial industry. The company has been involved in payments, stablecoins, tokenization, and institutional blockchain infrastructure. Rather than focusing on a single use case, the broader ecosystem appears to be positioning itself for multiple opportunities across the evolving digital asset market. When you connect all of these developments together, a larger picture begins to emerge. Institutional interest is growing, regulatory discussions are advancing, infrastructure continues to improve, and major financial organizations are actively evaluating digital assets as part of future market development. Of course, none of this guarantees future price performance, and every investment carries risk. However, it does highlight why many investors continue to closely follow XRP and the broader Ripple ecosystem. The conversation is no longer just about speculation. Increasingly, it is about infrastructure, utility, adoption, and the role digital assets may play in the future financial system. As always, stay informed, do your own research, and focus on the long-term developments shaping the market. Thank you for watching XRP Spotlight. If you enjoyed today's update, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who wants to stay updated on the latest XRP news. We'll see you in the next one.